What is the sun? How does it create heat? Well, I'll tell you the mainstream science explanation because I think it's funny, all right? And I think it's incorrect. But again, this is my opinion. Now, the mainstream explanation for the sun is that the sun is a massive, glowing ball of hot gases at the center of the universe. It's primarily composed of hydrogen and helium. Now, the sun creates heat through the process of nuclear fusion, okay, which this process occurs in the core, and it basically, you have a ton of, they say it's just a ton of condensed pressure that creates this hydrogen gas and pushes out this energy. Now, why I find it hilarious is because if we have this flaming hot ball of gas up there, then they explain to us that the sun is a radiant heat. That to me doesn't make any sense. How is a hot flaming ball of gas radiant heat? If that's the case, then when you get closer to it, you should get hot. And the higher up you go, the colder it gets. So, I mean, isn't that a bit funny? Isn't that funny to you? Because I would think the closer you get to a giant ball of gas and fire, you're going to burn up. But it seems like the higher up you get, the colder it gets. So mainstream science's explanation for the sun seems to me a bit ridiculous. Honestly, it seems a bit ridiculous. I think that the sun, in my opinion, is a projection. You're not seeing the sun. What we're seeing is a projection of the sun. And the actual source for the sun is behind the sun, and we don't see it. Now, this is why we have tons of people that have taken pictures of the sun and then a second thing behind the sun. A lot of people are calling that, you know, the second sun or the black hole sun, or many different names for this thing. But what I believe is that that is the source for the sun, and what we are seeing in the sky is just the light from the source. Okay, it's similar to if you're looking at a light bulb and the light bulb lights the room. The light bulb isn't the source of electricity. That's just the light that we see. But there's a lot happening underneath that light. Okay, there's a lot of wires and there's electricity and there's things happening. So I believe that there is something happening behind the sun that we see, and that is causing a radiation style heat, which means that the sun heats up surfaces and objects, and that is what heats up the rest of everything. So when the sun is super hot, it's blaring down on the earth, and the earth is getting warm. Okay, this is why in the summertime, after the solstice, the sun starts to head back south. And every day after that solstice, the earth is going to start cooling down in the northern hemisphere. That's because the sun is a radiant heat and it's leaving. So now you have the earth cooling down. That's why by December 25th, when the sun is all the way in the southern hemisphere, as far as it's going, it stays there. It starts actually on the 22nd of December. It gets as far as it's going to get, and then it pauses and it sets in the same position for 3 days in a row. Then on December 25th, the sun starts to move back to the northern hemisphere, and with it, we get the heat. The sun starts to come back, but that's why it takes a while. Okay, it doesn't, just because the sun's coming back now doesn't mean that, you know, on December 27th and 28th, it's now going to be warm. That's, again, because the sun is a radiant heat. It's not a big giant ball of gas and fire. It's giving radiant heat, which is why it's going to take till springtime for the earth to warm. You might get some nice warm days, but it's still going to be cold in the morning because the earth, the core, is still cold. The surface of the earth is still cold, you know, in the northern hemisphere. So when you start to learn about how, in my opinion, how it really works, it makes so much more sense. Okay, the scientific explanations for things don't make any sense. In my opinion, they're just driving your mind down a rabbit hole just to confuse you so that you won't even partake in the conversation. Most people are like, it's above my head. I don't know. It's above my pay grade. I don't know how it works. I leave that to the scientists. Yeah, I don't. You know why? because the scientists are clearly a bunch of knuckleheads and they don't obviously know what's going on. And the ones that do and that speak out against the nonsense, they get completely canceled. So, I mean, it's no wonder why people just go with the mainstream science, because that's how you make a living. If you want to make any money at all, if you want to monetize your stuff, you have to go with the mainstream. Or you're going to be like me. They're going to cut you off from being able to make money, and you're going to have to work 100 hours a week to try and make up for it. That's another thing. I think it's funny. People ask me, oh, you don't really believe this, do you? No, I do this for shits and giggles, buddy. I've posted like 2,000 videos on Instagram just for fun. It's all a hoax. I just like satire so much. I do it for free, just for kicks. I mean, come on, man. Really? No, I don't monetize. I don't make money doing this. I do it because I am passionate. Why? Because the truth is important. The truth helped set my mind free. We're always going to be prisoners on this earth, one way or another. We have owners. And if you can't realize that, then that's how good of a job they're doing. But we have owners, and our owners do not want us to understand our true potential. They just don't. We have been tricked into slavery, in my opinion. But, you know, it's my opinion, and you don't have to listen to me. That's okay if you don't. I love you all, and please, I really hope to find you all at my website, withthesun33.com, on Telegram, where I can speak freely with the Sun33, and then all my other platforms. I'm on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all of them, because of the censorship. It's just so bad. I mean, X is probably one of the worst platforms for censorship you're ever going to be on. X is atrocious. That's why when people tell me, oh, Elon, he's here to save us. Yeah. Okay, it's here to save us. Elon's platform is one of the worst. It's up there with TikTok as far as censorship goes. I haven't lost an account yet on X, but the censorship on there is incredible. I've tried to look my videos up on another profile, and you can't even find them. If you type in the exact title of the videos, you can't find them, because they bury them, because they are deceptive. YouTube does the same thing. All right, so if you want to follow me and see my content, please, like Rumble is a little better. Telegram is probably the best for censorship. I highly recommend, if people are trying to learn, if you're using your apps, if you're using social media as an outlet to learn, you should really think about downloading Telegram, because, you know, there's a lot of good content on Telegram. It takes up no space, and you can learn a lot of good videos on there. But I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. It's Monday morning. I'm heading into work. I love you all, and I'll see you all later. And this is my opinion.